live. Sorry, Chair. Sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. Welcome to Strategic Priorities Intergovernmental Cooperation Committee for June 24th. Call the meeting to order. Any declarations of conflict of interest?
None here.
See none. Approval of the agenda.
Yep.
Approved by Councillor Rivera, second by Councillor Tweel.
Yep.
Thank you. Approval of the minutes.
Yep.
Councillor Rivera and Councillor Tweel, thank you again. Okay, we go right to reports, discussions. Youth Engagement Committee met, and just the minutes are in your package, like they're trying to meet. And we asked them when this started. I was at the meeting, or their first one, and just to sort of give us an update and just keep sort of giving us minutes and stuff like that. And if there's any questions, we'll certainly try and answer them for them. But they seem to be doing well so far. I don't think there's any issues. And there's just sort of feeling their way around right now because it is a whole new group. So, does anyone have any questions on the Youth Engagement Committee?
Kevin, will someone be coming on behalf of that committee to present quarterly to us?
Yes, they will.
There will be? Okay.
Yes, there will. I think that's we approved, Mr. Kelly, didn't we? Yes, we did.
Okay.
And Doug sits in on some of them too, I think, Chantal, doesn't he not?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so he keeps us updated on that. So we're good with Youth Engagement Committee update?
Yeah.
Okay, a verbatim request, Councillor Spiegel brought that up to me one day, and so we checked and through the records, and the MGA, it was just reviewed, I believe, last year, Chantal?
Actually, Kevin.
Your worship.
Actually, this item here is on verbatim minutes. Mitchell had inquired about the MGA. It's another item.
Correct.
So this one is just on the verbatim minutes.
Oh, yes.
Other municipalities are doing.
Yes, exactly.
And so on this one, Mr. Chair, taking a lot of staff, we've been going some time to, we're asking for a standardized policy. Most municipalities now across the country, we refer people to their videos where they get all that information. So we're asking council to standardize practice. If they're for IRAC or any legal proceedings, we usually do and will provide them to that purpose. But for here, it does take a lot of time, and when it is readily available online.
Yeah, and that's, I thought, sorry, Councillor Spiegel, just have one comment. And that's what I thought that was the online streaming and everything was for that purposes and all that. And just to one more thing added on, we had Tracy check other municipalities across Canada, and the only reason they send them out is for legal, I believe. But anyone else can get it online and things along that line. Councillor Tweel, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
You know what? It's irrelevant what happens in other cities. This practice has been here for about 67 years, and it's always worked out well. When people ask for specific items that they want to have a copy of verbatim minutes in front of them. I'm sure there's lots of things that are done in these other cities that we don't do. So, you know, with respect to taking a lot of staff's time, I know Tracy's busy, but we did hire, you know, we got 2 communications officers, we have a public engagement officer, and regardless of what's online, a lot of people can't, some people have not the same ability as others to be able to follow it, and they want to have the information right in front of them. It's not an unreasonable request, and as I indicated to you before, Mr. Kelly, if that's the concern, then let's hire a stenographer. This is no different than what takes place over in the legislature. No different at all. And you walk in, you get a copy of the answers, you get that on a daily basis. So I don't know why there's this huge reluctance to continue on with the practice that's been here for the last 60 years, regardless of what happens. That's irrelevant what happens in other cities. I just can't even believe that we would deny the request from residents, especially when it's an issue and a topic concerning their neighborhood and their community. You know, we're supposed to be the government closest to the people. We hired a public engagement officer, yet we don't want to go the extra mile. So regardless of what takes place in other cities, that's totally irrelevant to me. It's worked out well here, and I don't know why we're trying to shut it down. So I totally disagree with that. And I know that, I can tell you, the residents aren't happy. They're not happy at all. They're really upset that we're throwing up these roadblocks.
And this is just a personal opinion, it's not a roadblock in my mind, it's just that this is why we made sure we spent thousands of dollars to have these cameras done. And I understand, because I have residents, like in my ward, Councilor Trio, that they're seniors and that, and
That's right.
they're not online,
Yeah.
and sometimes they can't hear everything that's going on.
That's right.
But at the same time,
Well.
this is why we did this, and the only reason we asked Tracy to check and just see if everybody was doing it,
Yeah.
you know, just for background information, and that's what she did, and like, that's not saying she did something wrong or did not do anything wrong.
No, but I'm saying regardless of what they do, it's my mind, it's irrelevant to what we do. We've had this practice for 60 years. We have a disabilities committee, Kevin, and we have, you know, people, I checked that committee, people can't hear.
Yeah.
People can't hear. So, you know what? It's there right in front of them, they can read it, they can go over and do it at their leisure. So, I don't know why there's a big push to shut down, having the verbatim minutes down. The requests only come in on certain topics. So it's not like we're asking for the whole council meeting to be typed up verbatim. And especially when residents have made the request and they're being shut down. Not good, not good at all.
Could they, oh, sorry, you go ahead, Gregory. No, Councilor Rivera, sorry.
Yeah, no, Gregory's fine. I'm in trouble when I get called Gregory. No, I can certainly appreciate the amount of time that staff have to use to do these verbatim minutes. I guess I'm curious numbers, Peter. How many requests do we get in roughly per month, and how many requests are from in office? Because I've seen some from Councilor Twill.
Oh, yeah.
So no, I'm not saying it's wrong or right. I'm just saying. But how many from the public do we get?
From what I recall, we do get the odd one from the public. You are correct, and Councilor Twill's aware, and most verbatim comes from him. And then he ships them through the community, which is what council can do, but 90% will come from Councilor Twill.
So,
Could we not, in the future, if someone's asked for something, saying this is our website, could you go to that first?
We have,
Oh, you did try that aspect?
we do make it.
So-
Anyone who calls in for information to go to the site, and the majority do. The only reason why this is here is that, since this has been around a long time, Councilor Twill is correct, but with the new technology now, it's easily trackable to go get that information.
Okay. Go ahead, Greg.
So again, I know that there's 4 of us in this room that it impacts when it comes to, you know, having the minutes available to us. Do you not think this is a topic that maybe discussed with the rest of the council? Because there might be other councilors, I think, that may look and maybe see the importance of verbatim minutes. And I don't know if we should be making a recommendation from here. I'm just saying, I think
Yeah.
all council should talk about this because it does impact
The whole council?
potential all council
If you
as well. So
if you want to refer to council at a future meeting, that's fine.
I think it would be advantageous to do so, just to hear from everybody, as opposed to just a group.
I mean, that's what bothers me about this whole thing is that, yeah, I make the majority of the requests. I see this as nothing more than something trying to shut down my ability to communicate with my residents.
I hope it's not.
Well, do you know something, Kevin? I'm going to be straight with you. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
I don't agree with senior management,
Yeah.
you know, trying to negate or to shut down the opportunity to forward information.
Councilor.
You know, so anyway, to my mind, like, there's other things we need to be doing in running the city as opposed to verbatim minutes. I mean, that just blows my mind that we're even having this discussion, considering this practice has been around here for about 60 years. So it was never a problem before. I don't know why it's a problem now. And, you know, to my mind, this interferes and undermines my ability and the functionality of an elected official accurately and effectively communicate with the constituency. That's how we see it. If other councilors don't want to request the rating for minutes, that's fine, right? But the practice is there, and, you know, if it's too cumbersome for staff, I mean, we have no problems hiring staff all over the city, so why don't we just hire a stenographer? I brought that suggestion forward, but this went to the, what was it, the advisory? I don't know who brought it there, but anyway, that was brought to the advisory committee, and now it's at this committee, so, you know, this, to my mind, clearly undermines councillors' role to be able to effectively give information to a constituency that directly affects them. They want to have the information, they want to be able to understand what the rationale and the discussions are in council. Just because something's online, we have people that are, like you say, seniors that can't hear, they have a disability, and yet we seem to be going out of our way to shut down something, and yet we have a public engagement officer, we have 2 communications officers, we have no problems doing all that kind of stuff, right? But information that is vital importance to the constituency, we're trying to shut it down. I don't get it.
So,
I don't agree with it.
if I may.
Yes, go
One
ahead.
last time. So,
Yeah.
again, I think it would be helpful to hear from the other councillors with regard to this before any decision is made on, because I mean, there might be another councillor who sees this as being a negative impact to maybe their ability to do something. So I'm just saying,
Yeah, that's right, that's right.
So I say we get it to a committee of the whole, Peter, if that works.
Yeah.
And then let all council discuss.
Sure.
That's a good point. Chantal, go
And it
ahead.
is important to know too that open minutes are always available to the public. Every month the council package goes out.
Chantal.
No, but the decisions are there, like the votes are there.
I know, but people want the verbatim. They want the verbatim. They want to know what their elected officials said. Because it does impact their community. their
And
neighborhood.
to council, Mr. Chairman.
Councilor John, do you have any comments on that?
No, I think there's been some great discussion. I'm all ready to vote on it. Straight.
So you're okay if we move it to council of the whole?
Well, if that's what you have to do for my recommendation, do we not vote on it here and then send it over?
Well, I don't think we need to, that's all.
No.
I think it's a council decision.
Bobby, how do you feel about it?
Oh, I'd like to keep going. Still, it's a good positive thing when you need them. So I vote for it, or you know, I'd like to see it stay in place.
Okay, let's have a motion to move it to the council of whole, or vote, or do I need one?
No, you don't have to, we'll just put it to.
You just put it on the agenda, is that fair?
Yeah, there's concurrence here.
Yeah, okay.
You know, current's moving forward, wait a minute, a motion to approve it.
Well, no, that'll come if need be, but I'm just saying, I think council needs to discuss. I don't think that, I think all council should be, because it involves all council,
It affects
I don't
everybody.
think a committee should be determined
Yeah.
where something should go based on a vote here, that's all. I think this is something that affects all council.
But as you know, the practice is already in place.
Oh, I don't disagree, I'm just saying that I think all council needs to.
Yes, that's right.
To voice, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
excellent. So we'll move it to, put on the agenda for council of the whole. Thank you. Now I can go to where Councilor Trio mentioned there, maybe we should have somebody in from the province about,
Procedural bylaw.
yeah, procedure bylaw minutes, and it stated right there, as you noticed in your package, Chantal did very good, and she highlighted it, 259 point review of act. Within 10 years after this act comes into force, the minister shall initiate a review of this act, and shall do so at least once in each 10-year period following 2016. AGA officially amended and effective December 4th, 2020. So in order to bring somebody in that, they probably will not go down that road, because we sent our recommendations, I believe, in December 4th, 2020 from all the council. Remember, we had that report, and see if we could add on or take out some things.
Yeah.
So just, we put that on the agenda, Councilor Drill, because you asked me to look into that. And Chantal did a lot of, all the work, I guess I should say. And she did it. Yes, go ahead, sir.
I think there's another document that impacts all of council.
Yeah.
And again, another good document to forward to all of council. And I mean, listen, I'm not a big fan of all these special meetings.
Procedure bylaw, I mean?
What's that?
The procedure bylaw?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're talking MGA.
No, we're talking MGA. So again, it's another topic that impacts all of council. So all of council had an opportunity to have input
Yes.
to changes. I just don't think this committee within itself as a silo should be again, a discussion that should take place with all council.
What I was suggesting, Greg, was for the deputy minister to come here and let's go through the MGA. I mean, I think we had 2.5 years now of the MGA. I think we need to have a discussion.
Yeah.
But we need to have a discussion with the deputy minister, because there's a lot of, interpretations as to what the MGA says and what it doesn't say, and who's right and who's wrong, whose interpretation's valid, which one's invalid. And you know what, I see a lot of discrepancies and a lot of disparities. And to be candid with you, I see the MGA more of a document that has senior management more powerful than elected officials. That's how I see it. So maybe we need to do it. It's 2.5 years now. So let's bring in the deputy minister and let's have a review as to where the power really is.
So, if I may,
Yes.
and I don't necessarily disagree, Chair, Councilor Two of you either. I think it'd be a good idea that council meets to discuss where there might be some inconsistencies or some pieces of the MGA. That way, we seem at least somewhat organized as a group, and that the message that is being sent to the deputy minister when the deputy minister comes, with an invite, we're hoping that the message is a message of unity, basically, from council, as opposed to being kind of all over the pond. So I think it's a good idea that we meet first on it and have a discussion.
But we already had that meeting with our inputs and our outputs and all
Yeah, but I'm
that.
saying that now that some of the changes have been made, I think it's good just to be able to meet with council and say that there is an opportunity to have the deputy minister come in. Okay? So we're trying to hone in on where the issues are, as opposed to having 10 councillors kind of unilaterally just kind of throwing. It's kind of good to have you united before we be here for hours.
Yeah, Chantal, did you get any response, or you didn't go that far with that, with the province? No.
I just think it'd be a good idea for us to have a discussion first, just to kind of air it out, and then that we're a little more organized when we're having that meeting with, because.
Well, I do think we need to meet with the deputy
And
minister.
I'm okay with that. I just think we need to be organized when doing
Yeah, no, I
so.
don't disagree with you, Greg.
No. Councillor Jerome?
Oh, I'm good with that, Kevin, thank you.
Yeah. See, we're falling back to meetings and meetings and meetings again, right?
Well, these all involve
Yeah.
council though as a whole.
Well, why can't we meet with the deputy minister first and then bring a recommendation to council?
Because our concerns here
Yeah.
may not be the same concerns involved with council. So that's what I'm saying, is that we
Yeah.
may have an agenda here,
Yeah.
but it may not be the same agenda of the other councillors that are affected by the MGA. So
But
all of a sudden, if we
but all
meet.
standing committees do that, right? All standing committees meet with,
No, I know, but because we haven't done it this way, leading up to any kind of changes with the MGA, I just think for consistency purposes, that's all.
Yeah. Okay, let's, we'll work on that and see how we go from there. And then we'll get back to us at our next meeting, and to be truthful too, Councillor Spiel, like this MGA Act sometimes is just off the charts.
well, that's why, Greg,
Yeah.
or I'm sorry, Kevin.
That hurts.
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah, no,
2.5 years,
yeah.
right? Every time you turn around, we're being told the MGA says this, the MG says that.
It's the walking Bible, really.
And you know what? I mean, like, we seem to have no power when it comes to, I don't know, like, for example, we should have a final say who hires the chief of police. Should be council.
So just, can I just say one more thing? just
Yes,
on the topic?
go right ahead.
So, from everything I've read so far and any conversations that I have had with Minister Jamie Foxx, I certainly think that he's open, as a minister as well, to take part in these conversations. I mean, I've seen him post on social media many times that he's gone and met with, Stratford Council or Summerside Council or whoever, talking about some of the changes or some of the whatever to the MGA. So I would be shocked if the deputy and the minister wouldn't make themselves available for a
That's not an issue with me.
Q&A with all.
Okay, why don't we try and set up that meeting, Chantal, sometime, and you'll keep us abreast of it, please, and thank you. Okay, thank you. Strategic planning sessions. This is something that the last chair was trying to do, I believe, Chantal, isn't it? Would you like to give us a little input on that, if you could? Or Mr. Kelly, or?
So the intent is that to find dates that are appropriate for council to initiate. We wanted to wait till the survey was done. The survey is now complete. That information can now be used by council to help set their strategic priorities. And so the intent today is trying to get dates in probably in September, after the summer time, and start to engage council and staff as to initiate that prior to the next election to get that ready for the next council.
That's a citizens report that come out, and we all read it.
That will feed
No,
in-
this is-
that will feed into that discussion.
They'll put in that discussion, because I know the police and that they already starting, like some ideas out of that, which is great.
Others are as well.
Go ahead, sorry, Chris.
This is pretty easy. Instead of trying to get a consensus from all of council on what works,
Yeah.
I say that in September at some point, just pick a time.
So
And
it's
just
going to
have
be a 2.5-day process probably.
The problem is it's gonna be difficult to do on weekends because there are people that have, school-aged children.
Yeah.
That's tough sometimes, some weekends, to be able
That's right.
to leave. So, I know that Councillor Cody and myself, would be two for sure that would struggle.
So maybe 2 days, different days, or?
I would much rather do 2 evenings. They don't have to be back to back, but I think evenings are easier to maneuver than,
7 to 9.
than a Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would book it for a couple evenings
Saturday,
and,
Sunday.
bring some supper in and,
Almost shouldn't be taking everybody's weekend away from them either.
yeah, it's just tough on the weekends, right, to get by in, especially the whole thing.
But the thing is, okay, well, the strategic plan, right? So is that divided? Is that divided?
No, that's just
So it's not
input.
divided?
That's just a document counter that we would use as part of our budgetary process, and as also in terms of how council's intent is to move in this valley forward as to what areas that we need to focus on that aspect of council.
Yeah. The other thing is, you know what, we need to topic on jurisdictional responsibilities. Like I said before, and I'll say it again, we're into topics that are the provincial responsibility, and topics that we should be dealing with, we're not dealing with, and I don't know why we're into provincial matters when we should be dealing with civic matters.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, that's,
and you know something, I mean,
well, those are good points to bring up at those meetings.
well,
No, they are, they're
yeah, I
fantastic.
mean, I just don't, I don't understand all this. I mean, you know, we got an email here from a response from an MLA wanting to talk about social housing and all that. I mean,
Yeah,
that's the problem,
yeah.
right? Am I wrong here?
No,
If I'm-
no, you're not,
if
because-
I'm wrong, guys, tell me I'm wrong.
I mean, you and I had those odd talks off the record and all that, saying that, why are we dealing with these certain items?
Exactly.
You know, so this is, like, that'll be a good discussion on those 2 nights, Greg, whether we do it on the first night or 4 days down the road on the second night. But those are good points, that we have to stay within our lane, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, we're not, Kevin, we're off.
Oh, I know.
We're off dealing with other provincial matters.
I mean-
We should never been involved with from day one, right? Because we can't even handle what we got.
I mean, we're like forever putting out fires, really.
Yeah. Ours and ours.
Yeah, exactly, and those are good points, and that's what frustrates me as a counselor sometimes
Yeah.
too. I'm saying, well, this is not our issue.
So I'll get back to you with those dates.
Yeah.
Yeah, preferably through the week, like on a Monday, and then if you want to go the following Monday or something, or things like that. Like
Just a Monday night. You know what, Kevin?
I'm just saying Monday, but maybe might have to be Tuesday.
Yeah, let,
Yeah,
Let's go Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
okay,
Is that
excellent.
everything?
That's
Move for
excellent.
adjournment.
Any questions, Councilor Drum?
No, you did a great job, thank you.
More meetings again.